Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I cannot believe that another month is already upon us and it's time for me to pick out what I want to read for the month of May. I'm still very much making my way through a lot of the new releases that came out in April. I'm also in the middle of a couple of other books that I'm really wanting to finish up first thing in May. So that's going to be my first focus, but I don't know if you guys can tell, this TBR cart is stuffed to the brim. I really need to get some of these books read and off my cart because I'm literally hiding the backside from you guys. I have books just every which way jammed in there as best I can without damaging them to make them fit. It's just a very full cart. So I really need to get these books read and off my physical TBR. I'm still very much feeling the spring vibes for May, even thinking about some summer reads. I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind as I'm pulling prompts today. But other than that, I'm just excited to mood read for the month. So with that, let's jump right into pulling prompts. The plan for today is to pull 8 prompts. I know last month I switched it up and pulled 6, but jumping back to our usual 8 for May. Oop, we got 2. Okay. I kind of unfolded this one first, so I'm going with this one. A book that feels like everyone but you has read it. There's so many of those books. I definitely feel that way about Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I feel that way about The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I'm about to reveal this crazy backside to y'all. Oh, it's not as bad as I was remembering. Okay. But see, I can't even put them like straight in. I have to angle them. Okay, you know what? I know exactly what I want to do. Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I swear, everyone has read this book except for me, and I really want to give it a try. I'm also happy this works out because I've heard that this book actually takes place in the month of May. I don't know how true that is, but very fitting that it works out if that is the case. This one, I know it's very heavily like rom-com movie inspired. It's YA, which I don't read a ton of YA, but I just hear the best things. It sounds super cute. I've read 2 books from Lynn Painter before. One of them actually was a 1-star read and the other one was a 3.5-star read, but this one I know is definitely like her fan favorite that everyone loves. So excited to try this one out, give her another chance, and see if it's worth the hype and how I like it. A book that matches the current season. Okay, so a spring book, and this one is literally staring me in the face right here. Yerba Buena by Nina LaCour was actually on my TBR last month and I didn't get to it, and I really wanted to get to it and was sad that I didn't, but it is very spring coded to me. I think the very first header that tells you like when it takes place says that it takes place in spring. Yep, an afternoon in spring, literally the very first header on page 1. I also know that it is about a woman who is a florist or works in a flower shop, also very spring coded. It's also a short book, so I feel like it's going to be a quick, perfect, easy read for the springtime. One of your favorite booktubers' favorite books. We know Sarah Caroli loves the Magnolia Park series, so Into the Dark could be an option. I just finished book 4 literally yesterday. We have ACOTAR down here. This was on my TBR at the beginning of the year. I didn't get to it. Now I'm kind of wanting to save it for closer to this winter time. I keep putting this one off, but I feel like this is every booktuber's favorite book. The Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I know that Sarah and Destiny really liked that series, but I don't think it's like their favorite. Okay, I actually think I know exactly what I'm gonna go with. Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I swear this is every booktuber's favorite book. I think Destiny, Sarah, and Rachel Catherine all gave this book 5 stars. I was actually watching Rachel Catherine's most recent video this morning and she was like, I'm begging you to read this. I'm literally down on my knees begging you guys to read this. It's so good. So I'm very excited. I'm only hesitant because I have heard critiques that it feels very much copy paste of like other fantasy books, but at the same time, I feel like it wouldn't get the ratings it does if people still didn't love it. So I definitely want to give it a try. I was also putting this one off a little bit because it ends on a cliffhanger, I've heard, and the second book comes out I believe in June or July. But if I read this later in May, I feel like I'm not gonna forget a whole lot between now and whenever Reckless book 2 comes out. So now feels like a great time to pick this one up. I also feel like it's the perfect book for that prompt since literally every booktuber that I love and watch gave this one 5 stars. A book with flowers on the cover. That would have been perfect for Yerba Buena, but also that one was very spring coated, so we had a very fitting prompt for that one. Mad Honey. Oh, this does have flowers on the cover, right? Okay, this one's an option. This one also feels very spring coated to me. I was wanting to read it in the spring. Definitely a good option for the month of May. Surprisingly, not a whole lot of options. Oh, we do have Emma by Jane Austen. I really don't feel like a classic though. Well, this actually works out so well. I was really wanting to read this in the spring, and I didn't realize that there were flowers on the cover, but there most definitely are. This one, I know it's kind of like Where the Crawdads Sing. I've heard there's a murder and there's a trial. I know our main character has a bee farm and she does something with honey. Something about that just gives me spring vibes, but I'm excited. I've heard really good things about this book and this author as well. I've never read from her, but very, very excited about it. We're up to prompt number 5 now. A book that's been adapted. Okay, this is a good one. I don't think I've ever drawn this prompt before. We're getting lots of new prompts this time around. Finally, I feel like I always make new ones and then never end up drawing them. I don't see any that have been adapted on this side. Emma has been adapted, and I think the movie Clueless is actually based on Emma too. So maybe that is a good option. Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng was adapted, right? I think it's a show with Reese Witherspoon. I'm surprised there's not more options. I feel like lots of books have been adapted. Okay, Eat, Pray, Love was made into a movie with Julia Roberts, but I don't know if I'm really feeling that one. I think I am gonna go with Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. I've heard good things about it. I don't really know details of the plot, but I think it is a thriller and it's under 300 pages, so I feel like this is gonna be a very fast and easy read. Prompt number 6. A book from a previous TBR that you didn't read. Wow, the amount of books that I'm seeing that I'm like, yep, that's been on one, that's been on one, didn't read it, didn't read it. I think the one that makes the most sense for me to add to my TBR for this month is Redeeming Six by Chloe Walsh. This was on my TBR last month, and book 5 came out in April. It's one of the new releases that I really want to get to for a vlog I'm filming. So I feel like obviously I need to read this one before book 5. I was going to anyway. So this is a good prompt to put on this one because I didn't get to it last month. A book involving food. Okay. I guess honey's not technically a food. I was thinking we could have done Mad Honey for that one. I could have bent the rules a little bit and made that work. But other than that, what other books involve food? Eat, Pray, Love. Okay, Lessons in Chemistry. I know it's about a woman who has a cooking show. The Dinner List involves people at a dinner, so that could technically work for this prompt. I think those two are my best options. I just realized I could have done Lessons in Chemistry for a book that was adapted too, because it was made into a show, but I don't know if I'm really feeling that one. To be honest, I feel like I would enjoy The Dinner List a little more for the mood I'm in right now, because it feels like a very life lesson type of book, which I don't know, for some reason I've just been feeling kind of slumpy in life and in books, so maybe that's kind of what I'm needing. Okay, I'm gonna go with The Dinner List by Rebecca Searle. The concept has always sounded so cool to me. It's based around that question where people ask you, who would you have dinner with if you could pick anyone, dead or alive? And our main character has dinner with the people she would select when she answers that question. And like I said, I feel like it's just gonna have great life lessons and themes in it. I have heard it's a bit more sad and emotional, so I will be preparing myself for that. But again, I just feel like I'm in the mood for this type of book, and it's a short one too. So lots of short books on the TBR for the month, which is always good. Hopefully that means I'll be able to get through more of them. Okay, final prompt. A book you plan to binge. So this could work for another short book. I feel like this could work for a thriller because I read thrillers pretty quickly. Or just a book I'm really excited about. I feel like for some reason I'm kind of in a thriller mood, which isn't really fitting for the month of May, but I don't know why. I feel like I've just read a lot of romance lately, maybe. My Lovely Wife, I feel like I'm gonna fly through that and binge it for sure. None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell has been on a few previous TBRs, and I do feel like I'm gonna binge that one. How long is Butcher and Blackbird? I don't really know if I would binge this one. I feel like if I enjoy it and it reads fast-paced, I will binge it, but I don't know, it could be like a little bit too violent and gory for me based on what it's about. A little over 300 pages. I don't know, because Butcher and Blackbird kind of like blends the two genres. It's kind of like dark romance, I guess, but a little bit thriller, a little bit romance. I feel like I'm kind of between None of This Is True and Butcher and Blackbird. I'm gonna read the first couple sentences of both and see which one seems more appealing to me. Stumbling from the cool of the air-conditioned hotel foyer into the steamy white heat of the night does nothing to sober him up. It makes him feel panicky and claustrophobic. I don't know. I've heard this one does read fast because it's kind of like in podcast format. Oh wait, this one actually takes place in the summer. It takes place in June. Should I save it for summer then? I might. Let me read the first few sentences of Butcher and Blackbird. Being a serial killer who kills serial killers is a great hobby, until you find yourself locked in a cage for 3 days with a dead body. Okay, I'm instantly hooked. I think I'm gonna go with Butcher and Blackbird. Like you just kind of heard, it's about serial killers. It's a romance between two serial killers. And I was kind of wondering what would make them a little bit more redeemable, because I'm not just gonna root for someone who kills people who are innocent, but I do think they're killing bad people. So this is what I'm gonna go with. I have heard mostly good things about it, and based on that, I'm hooked. I feel like I'm gonna fly through it. And it sounds like none of this is true. It does take place in like June, July, summer. So I'm weird like that. I like to read books when they kind of take place. So we're gonna go with Butcher and Blackbird for my final choice. So to conclude the 8 books on my TBR for the month of May: Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver, The Dinner List by Rebecca Searle, Redeeming 6 by Chloe Walsh, Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng, Mad Honey by Jodi Picoult and Jennifer Finney Boylan, Powerless by Lauren Roberts, Yerba Buena by Nina LaCour, and Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. So those are the 8 books on my May TBR. I am so happy with this TBR. I feel like it's one of the best ones I've put together in a while. I feel like even if I had free reign to pick whatever I wanted, which of course I do, but the TBR prompt makes it more fun, I still probably would have picked most of these books. I feel like most of them I was associating with the month of May anyway and with spring, and so it just works out timing wise, seasonally, reading wise. So I'm just super pleased with how it turned out. Let me know what you guys are reading in May, if you have read any of these books before, what your thoughts are on them. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of my future book videos. If you're still enjoying, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys so soon in the next one. Bye guys.